In this edition of Who's That Estonian Animal, we're going to look for the centipede. Now, I'm actually going to spend some time looking for them with my nephew. Say hello, Christopher.
Hi.
He's learned English via YouTube, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. He's 7 years old. Do you know what a centipede is?
Yeah,
What is it? What is it? Describe it to us. We're going to pick up handfuls of this stuff.
Okay.
And then we're going to throw it into the wheelbarrow. So, when you think you've spotted one, tell me, because I want you to like discover it without me telling you what it looks like.
Okay then.
So, the clue is 100 legs.
Found one.
Found one. Where is it, Christopher? You pointed to me.
It's right here.
Yeah. Can you see how many legs it's got?
Holy! I got a 5 million.
You got 5 million. So their body split into segments, but they always have an odd number of segments, so it's never an even number. I know you haven't learned that yet, but basically that means they only have like 15 segments or 23 segments or 27 segments. They never have 50 segments.
Yeah, they only...
Because they have 2 legs on each segment. Anyway, I'm really happy with that. We have a centipede. That's brilliant.
We're going to cover it up. He doesn't like rain.
Can you see how it's feeling with its feelers?
Oh yeah.
The antenna, it's constantly moving them around. It hasn't got very good eyesight. In fact, the eyes are pretty useless. Like they can see dark and they can see if it's dark or if it's light. This is the same species we had before in the other dig site, but this one is much thinner and much smaller. But it is look, it can move backwards as well. That's something that's really impressive about centipedes. They can all those legs work in tandem to move backwards and forwards. They can really go into any nooks and crannies when they're hunting. They've got a venomous bite. They paralyse their prey and then they eat them. So this is another species of centipede. Much less body segments on this one, much larger.
Less legs.
Yep. It's got less legs, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's probably got bigger teeth though, or bigger mouth parts.
Oh.
So this was much more fruitful, but I knew this would be. This is the fresh compost pile, so there's much more fresh organic matter. There's more prey for these centipedes to eat. Remember, they hunt nocturnally. What do you want to say, Christopher?
And we got the centipede only with 1 shovel.
Yeah, 1 shovel.
Yeah.
So we're very lucky.
Yeah, not lucky. We just stopped the right place.
Yes, we knew what we were doing, didn't we?
I think so.
It's quite shiny, isn't it, in the light? But have you noticed? So it's brown, isn't it? It's really camouflaged. What kind of animal might try and eat the centipede? They fly.
Sask.
Not a sask. Not a mosquito, no. They flap their wings. They sing. I can hear them right now, Christopher. What do you think is it?
I don't know.
Birds, Christopher, birds.
Oh, birds, yeah.
Yeah, birds. That's why there's a camouflage look. They look. You can barely see them. And they only come out at night so they don't get eaten. I bet the birds quite like these. It's very tasty.
Yuck. Disgusting.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
So these are invertebrates. They have a exoskeleton made of chitin.
This guy is.
He's very fast, isn't he? He or she, who knows? They are very quick. So the centipede belongs to the Arthropoda phylum. So you've got your animals and you've got your Arthropoda. And then within the Arthropoda, meaning jointed legs, you have your arachnids and your insects. But we're looking at the Myriapods, which means like many legs. I think it means thousands of legs, myriapods, like a myriad. Within the myriapods, you've got the class chilopods, and that references the specialized front legs of the centipede, which are perfect for their predatory behavior. Now the millipedes, which people sometimes get confused with centipedes, they're in the diplopoda group. And I think diplo meaning double because they have 2 pairs of legs in every segment that they have. Centipedes are also pretty much carnivorous. Predatory animals, unlike millipedes, which are like detritivores or detrivores, I'm not sure how you pronounce the word, meaning that they basically eat detritus, so things like leaf matter, decaying matter, etc. So centipedes, you might think, well, what's the point of having a centipede in my garden if they're eating other insects or other invertebrates that could be helping to break down my compost, for example. But centipedes are a good indicator species. If you've got centipedes, it probably means you've got lots of other things in your compost pile, for example, that are breaking down the matter for you. They mate by leaving a spermatophore on the ground. So the male will leave basically a bit of sperm, and the female collects it and makes and fertilizes their eggs. Now there's a brilliant scientific paper that's done a recent, or fairly recent, sort of checklist of all the species of Myriapoda, so all the myriapods, so your millipedes, centipedes, etc. And I'm going to use that to help identify some of the species. Now it's going to be a bit long-winded. So basically it's very difficult to identify centipede species, or myriapod species in general,
without magnifying glasses or microscopes, because not only do you have to count how many segments they have, but often you have to look at the back leg structure, the number of segments their antennae have, the mouth parts. Instead of going wrong, I've just gone, right, these belong to this genus, so for example the Lithobius. I was really struggling with this white Myriapod. I wasn't even sure if I was looking at some sort of like centipede or if I was looking at a millipede nymph. So I emailed the lead author, one of the authors from that synopsis paper I just put in the video, and his name was Karel Samet. You know, these were his words basically. You know, I'll paraphrase, but he said like not enough detail in the pictures, but for certain identification. But he said assuming it's a previously known Estonian species, so he thought it'd probably be Brachydesma superis. He was saying it's definitely a member of the family of Polydecimidae, and that it's the only known Estonian species that with that whitish colour and 16 body segments. And he emailed me back in about 15 minutes. That's an incredible level of expertise to just say like, you send an email, he gets his pictures, and within like minutes he's identified it and sent back his answer. Thank you very much, Karel Samet, and I'm ruining your name.
Right, so 2 days ago, I went to look for centipedes with my nephew, and then the next day, so yesterday, he was so excited about finding centipedes. When his friend came over, they both started looking for centipedes. Isn't that brilliant? Isn't that what it's about? So I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Another entry number 2, the centipede.